I started thinking about something a couple of days ago. What was that? 3GRX90. You know, like, what am I supposed to do? I'm just expected to take it, like, for the rest of my life, right? But I was thinking about that, so I was thinking of DMP0096 from Texas. I was thinking about this. I was thinking about 19919. I wonder if I'll even be able to, like, say all the stuff I was thinking when I started this recording, but I was thinking, I just all of a sudden realized that, like my approach to relationships, like romantic relationships, is like pretty selfish, actually. I had never really thought of it that way before. I don't know why. I think because I was never really enough into not established enough in a relationship, really, to an adult relationship, to think, to like see my patterns of things. I didn't know. It was always there was always like so much 41K B34. There was always like so much confusion around the beginning and the end that there was never really much of a relationship that ever happened. You know, like, that's the thing that I don't have. I don't have that, like, the day-to-day sort of being in a relationship with someone. I don't have that experience. You know, like, I mean, I really don't. So I was never really able to, like, think about how I relate to somebody when I'm in that type of relationship. But it didn't really occur to me until like, I don't know, like last week, I was like, I'm kind of selfish. I'm kind of a selfish person about that stuff. And which I did not think of. I had not thought of it. This is like, the sexual conglomerate does really bad. You know, I'm really horribly abused. But at the same time, all right, well, so if I don't like the person the way he is, you know, I mean, I can just not bother with it, right? Which is that's a pretty straightforward answer to something like, you know, the things you do drive me crazy, that kind of thing. But I think so like the selfish part for me is kind of like, it's been like this for a long time, I guess. It's kind of like, you know, do this so that I, you know, am not alone, and then I'll be happier. It's like, you know, I mean, not that I indiscriminately choose people to like sort of test out whether or not I could date them, but it's more a question of like, I'm immediately like ready to be like, it just seems like it's like kind of all the way that I am, you know what I mean? Kind of like do such and such thing that you don't feel like doing, that you don't care about, so that I can, you know, like not be alone anymore. Which is not, gosh, I don't even know how I'm fending them off. Who would not immediately respond to that kind of thing? And I think that my concerns are legitimate concerns, but at the same time, it's like, all right, well, if that's how I feel, and it's that important to me, I don't have to keep sort of like, you know, badgering someone to be like different than how they are. Right? I think enough. I know I'm not totally selfish. I noticed that aspect of it kind of is. You know what I mean? I mean, like, what is anyone going to say? You know, like, you know, yeah, okay, Lena, you've told me several times, and I just don't care. So why are you still beating on me to try to get me to be some other way, you know, than how I am, when, you know, I just don't, you know, there's plenty of people who are happy to date me just the way I am. So, you know, whatever. There's that, and then, you know, I mean, certainly that's not all there is to me as a person. But I think I never really thought about it that way. I never thought about sort of the self-centered part of how I tend to go about relationships. I did not think about that so much. I think because these issues really are so important, and so sometimes you can sort of like lose your perspective about like things that are more personal, because because my side is the right side about all these issues, right? I mean, it just is. But that doesn't mean that everything I do is really, you know, so very nice. It doesn't mean that. It's probably been a problem for a lot of activists throughout the years. You know, like sort of the things that they do, the bigger things that they do, are kind of better, you know, than some of the ways that they are personally. There's that. I think though that, you know, I mean, as far as like where I'm at with people who are, you know, famous, rich, that kind of thing, I feel like the conglomerate people, they put the stigma on me. So if while they're like sort of calculating in their minds whether it would be worth it to like spend any time dealing with me in one way or another, you know, and I would imagine the list of pros and cons would be something like, well, she's totally broke, you know, she's totally broke. that's pain, you know. And she's like, when you really get to the truth of the situation, you know, I am horribly stigmatized. But the thing is, you know, and I'm the one who has all the videos of me, and of course I don't really look. I mean, you know, you can suppose if you look at them, and you're not going to be like, and you're looking at them in terms of like, well, this is someone who is not consenting to be videotaped, you know, didn't know most of the time and couldn't do anything about it when I was. Then, you know, you can just be like, all right, well, she looks, you know, this part of her looks okay, and that looks not too bad. But not that anyone has a reason to judge me, because the whole thing is such a horrible crime. But it's like, you know, but really, you know, the truth of it is, it's the whole thing is really not nice at all, you know. And yet the final result is the bare fact of the videos, which is embarrassing, right? When push comes to shove, that's the answer. Nobody wants to date that person. You know, nobody wants to date the girl who has all the naked videos. In fact, there it is. Or to act like you take her seriously, even though it's just not my fault. It's not my fault. So the whole stigmatizing thing, and even my abject poverty, you know, these are problems and stigmas that, you know, have been placed upon me. I didn't choose them. I didn't do anything to bring this on myself.